Okay, good morning, everybody. It's Sunday breakfast at Dharma Diner. Every Sunday we do a live show and we talk about a topic. And today I have my husband with us, Brett Gardner. He's right here. Let's get you. Oh, there you go with your. He's a little blurry, I think, but we'll take it. Maybe it's his beautiful aura coming into alignment. Okay, so you had a topic that you wanted to talk about today. Seva.
Yeah, I thought we should just talk a little bit about Dharma Diner and why Dharma Diner is of value to people and how it can help people.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Well, we've been talking about Dharma Diner conceptually for a while, and the main thing is to provide a community, a non-denominational community that people can relate to. And it's something that conceptually anybody of any religion, any faith, even if you don't have one, can relate to on some level. And it's there really to act as a source of inspiration for people and a sense of community and support. Does that work?
That was great. I lost my tab here. Well, for me, I don't know if all great art or concepts are born out of a type of pain, but for me, I have been seeking God since I can remember. Like, just curious about life, lots of questions. Why are we here? Where did we come from? I wasn't born into a religion, though I was around a lot of religion. I was born in Utah, and most of my friends were Mormon. Parts of my family were Catholic, but I wasn't raised a particular religion. I remember my mom took us to a few sessions of religious science of mind, which is not Scientology, but it's religious science of mind, where the basic concept is that you focus on the light within you and the light in all things. So that was kind of my first awareness of that I was connected to God in some way. And so I don't know why religion never, I think my mom must have, as a single mother, she was too busy I think she was working every Sunday, so she couldn't really take us to church. But I always just wanted to understand why. And then not so much in high school. I think in high school I was hustling just to get scholarships, but in college for sure, like, who am I? Where did I come from? Why am I here? What am I going to use this life for? What's the best use of this life? Started reading tons of books, meditation, different kinds of yoga. Really, I should have been like a theologist. I should have studied theology, which is a study of religions, because that's how passionate I was in questioning. But mostly, if I look at the core, I just wanted to feel good. I wanted to have some kind of inner peace about who I was. And so starting Kundalini yoga took me into Sikhism. And Sikhism, though it wasn't never meant to be a religion, it is a religion. But then I started to realize there were aspects of that I just didn't feel like I fully fit into the religious aspects. And that was just very painful, because that is a path that I relate to more than anything, but it wasn't 100%. And so my friends and I started talking about Dharma, the concept of Dharma. And Dharma isn't about religion. It's about walking a truthful path, but it's about walking the path based on our inner truth. And so I thought, that's a little, there's no like community for that. There's no container to hold that. And so how do you get supported in your truth how do you support your truth when it's not as in a structured environment telling you what your truth should be? And having, so that's why I think Dharma Diner is so great, because it's bringing forth a lot of different universal truths, a lot of different teachings from different teachers, even different religions, in a community atmosphere, online, virtual, all over the world, where it can support a person's truth. So for me, that's my story in a nutshell, but basically just that no one really, also the pain of not having to throw the baby out with the bathwater, just because you don't, maybe if Mormonism, Catholicism, Sikhism, any Hinduism, just because you can't fit your whole truth into that, it doesn't mean you have to throw the baby out with the bathwater. You can still love that and appreciate that and honor the other aspects of truth within yourself. So that's why I'm really passionate about Dharma Diner, because I know a lot of people who their truth just simply isn't represented fully in one package. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's great, sweetie. You know, I was born into a religion, and you know, it's a beautiful religion. However, I always felt like I didn't resonate with it as well as others, as naturally as others did. And you know, it was kind of this connection, no longer connecting, connection, no longer connection. But I always felt like I needed to belong to something. Um, Yet I never really did. And I remember, you know, for the first time I heard about the philosophy of Guru Nanak, and that's, you know, really the core of Sikhism is, and we're not here to promote Sikhism. What we are here is to promote your inner truth and what works for you. So, you know, but when I did hear about Guru Nanak and his, you know, your best and your highest teacher is within, and God is within, and it's really about coming in line with the connection to yourself and that godly connection within yourself. So, now that being said, that can become both enlightening, it can become expansive, but it can also become lonely because, you know, it's between you and the higher you. So that's great, and it's good, and it's needed, and it's necessary. However, what about the rest of our social and community aspects that we have and need as people? So ideally, Dharma Diner enables people to have a place to reference. We're going to have these chats. We're going to build on these chats, and we're going to have conversations. They're not necessarily supposed to be debates, but they can be, you know, open dialogue. Anyway, there was one other thing I was going to mention about, just, you know, both my wife and I moved here from Utah to New Mexico, and we're both part of the Sangha here in, you know, around Espanola. New Mexico is just north of Santa Fe, and we've been here for almost 20 years. I moved here in January of 2000, and, you know, things have just seemed to work out, and I've feel as home here as I have anywhere. If not more so. And what's amazing is you start looking at the beauty in all paths, and you start to see the beauty in all people. And one of the things that we were talking about the other day, and it came from a text that, you know, I read. I don't necessarily share it here on this call, but I will down the road. But it's just really, you know, getting out of touch with the personality of the people that we know and are surrounded by, and trying to take a more unconditional love approach to people, and really trying to connect on the soul level as individuals and as a collective. So that's what I've got.
That's perfect. You're so eloquent. Eloquent. But within that connecting, I think that it can also, for Dharma Diner, there's no right and there's no wrong. Mm-hmm. And that's nice because you know, I look at all the great saints. This is a part of the inspiration of Dharma Diner. All the great saints. You look at Jesus, Guru Nanak, Buddha. I can't list them all here, but even all of the gurus and avatars that we read about, Mother Mira, Amma, Sri Satchidananda Maya Ma. You know, you get the gist. But long story short, all of these people were like rebels in their own right. And I love that. And it's like, to follow your truth, there is like this kind of rebel aspect to it. And because all of those people, all those examples, they didn't look outside of themselves to, maybe they did to validate their truth, but they didn't look outside of themselves to get approval for their truth. And within religion and different paths, like if you go to any sangha or path, I just see that there's so much of that. People inadvertently asking, like, is my truth okay? Or I don't know if that makes sense, but it's I just think it's a funny dichotomy that all of the leaders and the people who founded these great paths were so good at just knowing their truth, and they had such confidence and faith, and but then people that are walking those paths, they don't seem, not everybody, and some people do, it seems as though we don't take the same confidence, or we don't think that we have the same ability to be that type of leader of our own truth. So that's, to be a leader of your own truth, that's another inspiration of Dharma Diner. But I also love the diner aspect, because when I was younger and doing a yogic path, I got kind of grossed out by normalcy. Like, I would be meditating and doing all this yoga, and I would go home and everything would just seem so normal. Like, let's go to Smith's and get some milk. Like, that's so normal. Just like this weird relationship with normalcy. And then I've come full circle to realize how beautiful it all is. That diner in the middle of nowhere, and you walked into that diner, after you've meditated and become really sensitive, you can feel all of the strange energies. Yes. So you can take that approach of like, oh my gosh, this is so strange, and I'm sure none of these people meditate, and this is like, oh. Or for me now, when I walk into a diner, I'm like, wow, people are amazing. They're beautiful. Still having this kind of meditative and yogic awareness about consciousness, but not judging it, just looking at how beautiful each step of our evolution is, and how beautiful humanity is, and how beautiful normalcy can be. And so Dharma Diner is a celebration of all these paths coming into one place in a non-judgmental way, and just really appreciating everyone, and just, coming to, like, Guru Nanak had everybody sit on one level. And it's kind of the same thing at a diner. You're sitting on one level. There's cheap coffee, cheap pie, and fine. Let's come together, let's sit together, and let's just be. It's like, not judge each other. Let's just be. Let's just be great. So that's why I like the diner aspect of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that, I was questioning earlier this year the validity of social structure, and it's become more and more apparent to me how important social structure is. And because with all the struggles in life and challenges that we all go through, whether it be financial, I mean, you name it, it's out there. And having somebody or a place to go, there's a lot of value to that. And what I realized is, you don't necessarily have to fit into the mold 100%. And I wonder how many people out there, if you're in part of a structured religion, how many of you actually believe everything that is being taught or, preached, or however you want to phrase it. But just because you're not 100% in, I don't think that that's something that you have to seriously question. However, I think questioning is part of the process. In fact, it is part of the process.
But I think some people question in communities. I think you might not question that, but some people are questioning you. Like, people measure each other.
Yeah, they do.
Don't you think?
Absolutely, they do. I know for a fact they do. We get judged every day, right? On some level. So, and we judge others whether we want to or not. It's just part of human nature. But I think becoming that unconditional love that that Jesus taught is critical. It's important. And Guru Nanak taught that. That's, if we're truly accepting of our own inner truth and our own inner knowledge, then we need to also honor the inner truth and knowledge of those people that we're surrounded by. But
I love this.
yeah.
When I was in college, there was this quote in this paper that said, "Are you trying to be the Buddha, or are you being the Buddha?" Because when you're trying to be the Buddha, it's so annoying to people. Like, you're talking about Jesus and the unconditional love, and these people, all these great saints and leaders, which we have the ability, we have all of that within ourselves to encompass all of these qualities, that they were that. They weren't trying to be that. They just were that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, babe, do you think there's anything more on this introduction that we want to go over, or is that a good intro?
A good intro to Dharma Diner?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think that that it's really a place where people can feel welcome to bring forward what inspires them to live their dharma, their truth, their truthful path. And I think the other thing I like about Dharma Diner is just that the teachings that will come forward, that hopefully we can strip away some fanaticism from the tools. Like on a truthful path, there are things we come across like meditation, like becoming aware of our senses, becoming more aware in general. And I remember when I was younger and starting to incorporate a lot of these things, it was difficult not to be fanatical. Like, like watching what we eat and what we hear and what we see. And I guess my wish for Dharma Diner is that we can take these tools and yogic tools and concepts and teachings and be kind to ourselves and help each other do it in a way that where it embraces our life, the normalcy of life, I guess, coming back to the concept. Because for me, I got so into it, and without having like a community to share it with, it just seems so painful. Because like a yogic practice, like doing a daily meditation, for example, when I would do that by myself in college, I didn't have peers, I didn't have friends around me that were my son doing the same thing, and it just got so lonely, and I got pretty fanatical about it, and it wasn't healthy. It didn't feel very balanced. So I hope that this can be an atmosphere where we can practice all these things in a balanced and supportive way with each other. That's all I would have to say. Hi, Vasu. Deva.
Okay. All right, good. Well, one of the core concepts is, in my opinion, also is service and really helping our fellow person. Because if you're in a position where, and where you've been in a position of challenge, of turmoil, of stress, pain, whatever it is, everybody around you is probably going through the same thing on some level, and just having a little more compassion for one another. And if there's somebody along the way that you can, help, even smile to, it's amazing how far a smile can go sometimes, or just a simple greeting. Anyway, that's all I've got, sweetie.
And wrapping up on that note, I would just say we're so silly at Dharma Diner because you'll see me, all the characters that are coming through, like Glow and Jay, and I have a whole bunch of more characters coming. Aside from having a theater degree, it's just really mostly just the celebration of just have fun, like just allowing ourselves to just be silly and have fun and enjoy life. And you'll get that at Dharma Diner too. Let's just laugh with each other, So, because life can be challenging, and to uplift each other, just enjoy.
So who can we look forward to next on Dharma Diner?
Well, I have a great character coming out. She's Southern. She's a rich Southern woman, and she actually grew up in India, but people don't know that about her. So she's so equipped in all this like spiritual stuff, but people assume that she's not. And so she has these great little monologues and chats where people are trying to teach her, but she's like, "Oh, darling," but she's gonna have like the fur and eyelashes, and I don't know what to name her yet, but I'm putting her together, and she's so funny. She's so funny. People like Glow the best right now, but I think this one's going to be pretty good. Oh, wait, I think I'm going to name her like Bernice or something. I don't know. Wait, give me suggestions.
Yeah,
love suggestions on a good Southern name. So, okay, well, thanks, sweetie, for doing this foundational chat on Dharma Diner.
Absolutely. Thank you all. Thanks, everybody.
Everyone, let us know what you think and let us know what you'd love to see in Dharma Diner. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe. It'll be very interesting to see how this channel and this whole community grows together. Okay, see everybody later. See you next Sunday.
Peace.
Okay, bye.
Bye.